Alright, 365-day devotional. This will be co-heirs with Christ. Co-heirs with Christ. I think the phone's going. The Spirit Himself testifies with our spirit that we are God's children. Now if we are children, then we are heirs. Heirs of God and do co-heirs with Christ. Romans 8:16-17. If we are co-heirs with Christ, why do we struggle through life? Our inheritance is perfect peace, yet we feel like a perfect mess. We have access to the joy level of Jesus, yet plod along like dyspeptic donkeys. Dyspeptic donkeys. Peptic, huh? That's something with a very sick liver. Donkeys. God promises to meet every need, yet we still worry and fret. Why? We don't know about our inheritance. No one ever told us about the exceeding greatness of His power towards us who believe. Ephesians 1:19. No one ever told us that we fight from victory, not for victory. For no one told us that our promised land, our Canaan, is already conquered. Some Christians never live out their inheritance because they don't know they have one. Oh man, that's deep. Okay. But now you do. Now you know that you were made for more than wandering in the wilderness. God saved you from Egypt so that He could bless you in the promised land. Moses had to remind the people that God brought us out from there, that He might bring us into Canaan. Deuteronomy 6:23. There is a reason for our redemption too. God brought us out so He could lead us in. He set us free so He could raise us up. The gift has been given. Will you trust it? That's a good point. He set us free so He could raise us up, and therefore it would be glorifying God. So when people are really down and out at the lowest, at the breaking point, and you see them a few weeks or a few months later and they're totally redeemed, and they tell you it was because of the love of Christ and what happened on the cross, they glorified God's kingdom. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. People becoming more righteous, more holy, becoming more like Jesus, and just the love. And then the love follows that. Love is everything, and the world needs more of it. I mean, if you can get rid of one thing in the world, I guess what would it be? It would be war. I would get rid of war. And some will argue that it's necessary, but then you just got rid of war. So if that was your one wish, if that would take care of everything, if you got rid of war, it wasn't an option. I remember my mom always used to say, she said it was, I guess, the time when I was growing up with the first George Bush, and then Saddam Hussein, and was that? And a little bit of Bill Clinton going on. But you should just get the presidents in a boxing ring and have them box and duke it out. That was good. Whoever wins, wins, and that's it. But when people die, military soldiers and civilians, and collateral damage, we all lose. Yes, we do. We all lose. We become so desensitized to death because we hear about it all the time. But Jesus died for you. You remember that day on Calvary, on the cross? The whole week leading up to that whole day, before He even got to the cross. He died for us willingly. They could have argued or fought against it, but it was God's will, so He went for it. Cool. Very, very good. And that was, yeah. So He's a hero, right? Hero, and He's our God. And He loves us and we love Him. So cool. It's another perspective. What was I going to talk about? Yeah, the main thing, if I was doing my own devotional book and started just doing my own devotions, kind of what I'm doing after this, or just stories, to remember a video, a vlog or something of videos of blessings that you get, because you always don't have a notepad and pencil with your phone to put a reminder of what just happened, and how you start to see a little bit how God works. I forgot to write that. I was going to write it down on the movie that I watched. I forgot the name. But if we could just get one glance at what God is doing, an eagle eye's view of what he was doing. I don't know what the finished part was of that was. I forgot. It was in the end of the movie. It was very, very good. As one door closes, another one opens. And I kind of got to see that 2 rule that I used tonight, that I used the other night. The 2 minute, 2 hour, 2 day, 2 week. On how quickly God goes to work for you and leads you down this path that ultimately gives you the answer. I don't know about this, but I think it is pretty true for me in this situation. Or I could be overanalyzing it or making it out to make it seem like God made it happen. But you'd have to give me your opinion. I don't know. It's a long story. Starts back from 2013. 2013 when my life changed dramatically. I fell from a 90-story skyscraper into a pool. Into a pool. No, I'm kidding. That's not what happened. Just from graduating from college and retiring from Publix and then divorcing. And then living with my dad and dealing with cancers and then purchasing my own house and getting an awesome job and pretty much kind of in that order. And being saved, being 100% in, totally in 2013. As soon as that happened, everything changed in my life. And tonight, I guess around 7 or 8 o'clock, I think a door closed. I took the leap of faith and I was obedient and I asked the simple questions and pretty much the door closed. And not 2 or 3 hours later, instead of going to Target where I normally go to or Walmart after work, usually I hit the Target since they're still open and we close early tonight. I went to Publix. I went to Publix in Groveland. I guess I went to Publix because my brother shared the email that Publix is doing really well. The big deal is because the corporate tax reduction. That is huge. So a lot of businesses have a lot of excess money that they were usually paying towards taxes, but what are we going to do with all this excess money? And they're giving it to the employees, or the stock is going up in value, or more dividends. That'd be pretty cool if they do that. But so that was cool that my brother shared that, and I shared it on Facebook too, because that is a big deal for all the United States and small and large business. Not exactly how it works, but it worked for the company I was with, and I still own lots of stock in there. So pretty cool. But so I saw that, and I just kind of wanted to. I like walking into a Publix every once in a while, making sure everything's still looking good. I guess if you're still a stockholder, a big portion too. I guess if you're still a stockholder, you want to go in there and look at everybody and make sure it's all still going well. But now you don't have to work there and actually be the one that straightens up stuff, even though you go in there and you still straighten up stuff, and you're the one still greeting customers and stuff. And they're saying, why is this random guy talking to me and saying hello to me and being friendly to me? It's the whole customer service thing. It gets instilled in you when you're doing it since you're 16 years old. But anyway, went into the Groveland Publix and I saw something that majorly affected me back in 2013 when I decided I kind of needed to get out of there and retire. And that one thing, it changed everything. It's really weird though. It changed everything as one door closed on us, something I was kind of praying about. I think another one possibly opened, but I'm just going to let it be the flesh. I'm just going to let it go with God, and I'll probably go back. The person was there, but not tonight. Not tonight. We're going to let that one marinate a little bit. I'll go back. But, it was a very interesting time in my life. I grew a lot. I grew strong. I used to, on on break, if I wasn't going to AAA Tri-Camp Triathlon practice that was at Lake Mineola and I was only 10 minutes away, I could go there on break, an hour-long break, and get a 5K in, and or a little bit of a bike ride in. So I used to do that. But if I didn't do that, I always had books on CD in my car from Cooper Memorial Library, usually Joyce Meyer or Joel Osteen. I think it was the Joyce Meyer ones that they said if there's a person there that's messing up something in a relationship, in your marriage or something, or you're lusting after somebody, you have to get out. So that was one of my major decisions with getting out, because it was causing a problem. Not really. I guess it was a lot of things causing a problem. It wasn't just that. That was only a small part. But I needed to get out anyway for many, many other reasons. Because I wasn't passionate about it anymore, you know? You have to use your gifts and your talents. So I left. And then that person ended up leaving and transferring to another store because they got promoted or new stores open up. And I saw that person like probably a year ago and at a far, far store. Passed into Berries, and now they happen to be back at the Groveland store. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool, we'll see. I don't know, kind of exciting. I just do my normal stuff, and you know, I guess you gotta test the water, you knock. If the door opens, walk through it. If it doesn't, you can kind of tell. Yeah. Alright, so that's all I got. 365-day devotional. Yeah, you seek God and you'll find Him. You knock and the door will open. And it's pretty cool. So seek God first and His kingdom and His righteousness first. And you'll receive the desires of your heart, which become the desires of God's heart. But really the desires are your heart. He knows what you want and what's best for you. Trust me on that. If He's closing the door on a girl or a relationship, there is a reason. They're not ready or they're dealing with something. So it's sad to think that though. But He knows what's best. Yeah. Cool. But now we remember back what else the Word of God says. Paul's big on staying single. Proverbs 31's big on staying single. And that we're leaders and kings, and we shouldn't do these worldly things, and we need to act righteous and holy and all that, and be 100% in doing that stuff and focusing on God. But if He's called you to get married, get married. I guess the Bible really says if you're burning with passions and you can't hold them back, then yes, get married, because you don't want to sin. So you got to get married to, so you have to. If you don't, that's death, man. Alright, but that's all. Well, that's a 13 long video. 13 minutes? I don't know if anybody's watching this, but this is really for me, because I'll look back at it and I'll laugh. And yeah, it's always fun to see where your mind is at on that day and time, what you're going through. That's why I like the Facebook feed or your own personal feed, just to see. Be like, oh yeah, that happened, and my focus was right, and I always stayed in peace and joy, and faith was always good, and I never stopped focusing on you, God. It's cool. And then you see where it gets you, and it's pretty cool. Alright, I'm gonna try to wake up in the morning and go do park run, or just at least watch and support, or volunteer if I'm allowed to walk up and volunteer. I do have my bike in the back of the car if I want to be like a pacer, or just ride. I don't know. It's exciting. You never know. Usually I'll wake up and be like, I'm too tired. But if you get right up, hit the coffee, get on the treadmill, you're good to go. You'll wake right up. Every time it'll work. You can't wake up to go sit down. You can't move from the bed to the seat. You have to get up and go. That's the way it works. But you shouldn't be running if you have injuries. It's not smart. Just walk the thing or volunteer. Alright. I'm gonna go, guys. I got major cat action here. They need lots of discipline. Alright, love you guys. Oh, no gains this week. We're gonna measure our biceps. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta turn that to get the inside of the bicep when you're isolating. You don't want it like that. You want to turn it that way to get the inside right here. You don't want it like that, because see how it moves like that? You want it that way, externally. I don't know if that's still called externally rotated, if you're already externally rotated more. Yeah, pinkies that way. You get big bicep, especially on concentration curls. Alright. Just saying, a little secret. Alright. I love you guys. See ya.